Minutes.
Thank you. Between 2009 and 2016, federal funding for affordable housing in Los Angeles County declined 35%. That is certainly one of the reasons why we've seen this huge increase in homelessness, but another, as Mr. Lynn points out, is just the incredible cost of building a new apartment unit, given the very high fees that local government impose on each unit, and given the high costs of land, and given the fact that you're strictly limited as to how many units you can put on a piece of land. Mr. Lynn, what would be the impact of the administration's rent reform and work requirements, the so-called Making Affordable Housing Work Act, on homelessness in the Los Angeles area? Would this initiative help the city serve more people, or would it exacerbate the problem?
I think it would clearly exacerbate the problem. I think the concern that we have in raising minimum rents for people who are the poorest housed folks that are in Los Angeles is of grave concern, very concerning. The impact of work requirements on households, particularly families with children, families with disabled members. I think it would only exacerbate the problem, sir.
Now, although Los Angeles County does have 10 million people, and New York has even more, although it's divided into several different counties, we see 1 in every 4 people experiencing homeless last year did so in New York City or Los Angeles. Is that because of the high cost of housing in those areas? Because it occurs to me that unemployment is a problem nationwide, addiction is nationwide, psychological and other health problems are nationwide, and yet we've got 1 in 4 people in those 2 cities. Is there something else that causes disproportionate homelessness in the 2 largest metropolitan areas that you can put your finger on, other than the very high cost of an apartment?
So I think high cost of living is the key issue. Both of those are very unaffordable communities, and the unemployment rate is actually quite low. We're experiencing quite a robust economy in the Los Angeles area. The challenge is that most of the jobs and most of the income has actually gone to above median income households. So what happens is, as the economy picks up, people have better paying jobs. Folks who are making minimum wage and people who are below minimum wage, who have fixed incomes, they're on benefits programs, they're on pensions, they feel an extreme squeeze as the rents increase, as people can pay more, and there's a fixed housing stock issue.
We in California need to build 180,000 units a year. We're a growing state. We're building 80,000. What can the city of Los Angeles do to bring down, to encourage people to build more apartments, condos, affordable housing, or even housing that somebody would move into, thereby vacating another unit that would be affordable? How do we get more housing built in Los Angeles?
So I think the city and the county are looking at this. One of the issues that has driven a lot of interest is the building of accessory dwelling units, which are generally as of right in most areas. And I think there's the ability to put a second unit on your lot, often called granny flats, or a second dwelling unit. I think that holds out a lot of promise. I think there's been a lot of work to address this concern and think through what is the impact of land use policy on constraining supply and to address
what fee is charged in Los Angeles per unit to pay for the infrastructure, the parks, et cetera, that's already there? Let's say you have the right to build a 5-unit, or I'll use a round number, 10-unit building. What's the city charge you for the right to do that?
I don't actually know, sir.
I've been given numbers.
I'll cover a lot of zones, but that one's a little far outside my zone, sir.
Okay, because I'm told figures of well over $100,000, whereas in most of the country, the cost of construction, land, everything per unit would be less than that. So I don't know if the figure is that high, but advocates for making it easier to build apartments are saying that it totals that.
I will find out and get back to you, sir.
Thank you.
The gentleman yields back.